Let me turn some cameras off here. Hang on, I got some issues. We've had to change a couple of things that I have going on because we had to change our format, which is no big deal. We just have to take it as we go, right? All right, I think that should get us there. We should be good. All right. There. Colton, welcome in. I am sorry. that took so long, but welcome in. I know we got about halfway through, but hey, we're going to start again, right? Welcome to Big Duke's Virtual Race Hub. I am Big Duke. This is my guest, Colton Johnson. We're a little bit late tonight. Sorry, we had some more difficulties, but we're going to get it together. What we're going to talk about first, though, dive right into it since we're running a little bit late. Let's talk about NASCAR 25 coming out. The console game probably is going to, I think I read where it's going to be on Steam. Going to have some PC capabilities, but nothing too crazy. I believe it's going to be mainly focused towards the console. You're going to have 4 different cars to choose from. They're all different. So you got ARCA, trucks, Xfinity Cup. Really excited about it. Got a career mode, kind of like a feeling of a kind of a Dirt to Daytona modern throwback to that. Really excited about what it's going to bring to the gaming industry. Colton, have you heard anything about it? Yeah, I do too. I think it's going to be really good. The being able to use the different cars is going to be fun because, like I said, back in the old school NASCAR games, man, everything seemed like it kind of drove the same, right? It didn't matter what the car was, but it all kind of seemed the same. So hopefully they'll use some of the physics in the game and be able to bring us some of that. Hang on, I don't think I have your audio. Yeah. All right, there we go. Yeah, now you're good. All right, so going into 2025, Colton, tell us what your plans are. I know I gave a very brief introduction about Colton Johnson, legends, bandos, but tell us about your plans for 2025, and then we're going to take it back to how you started.
Plans for 2025 are we're moving up to legend cars. Hopefully, gonna go big in them and try and make our way up the stepping ladder.
So you just graduated from bandos, moving into legends. Tell us how the bandos went. How was your career in the bandos? What all success did you have?
We had some pretty good successes in bandos. We had some great wins at Nashville, Charlotte, summer shootout, bando nationals, couple championships here and there. So I think it was a positive season for all of the seasons that we ran with the bando.
About how many wins do you think you got?
In the bando, I'm gonna say 25, 30-ish.
That's pretty good. How many seasons you race with it?
I think about 5 seasons,
Okay, so
5 full-time seasons.
5, 6 wins a year. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good clip. You keep that up, and we'll be reading about you in the Hall of Fame one day, right?
Yeah.
So, how'd you get started in a race? And tell us a little bit about that.
Just so my dad used to work at NASCAR with you, obviously, and then he moved over from NASCAR to the Charlotte Motor Speedway to cut back on the traveling with having me and my sister.
Yeah, I
Um,
understand that.
yep. And ever since I was a kid, I've been at the racetrack because he'd pick me up from school, take me to the racetrack, work a couple hours, then we'd go home, repeat the next days. Just been at the track, and when I was 5 or 4, I was like, Dad, I want to race. Brought me to the quarter midgets, arrive and drive, done that a couple times. Bought one, drove one for a couple years, moved up from in the ranks in the quarter midgets, went to bandos, done that, or well, actually went to outlaw carts for a couple years, done that for like about a year and a half. And then we moved to bandos, and we've been at bandos ever since until now.
So you sold one of your bandos, and you got a Legends car, or you got two?
Just one legend car.
Just one?
Yep.
Who you got working on it?
We're gonna have Michael Crafton for sure for the Auburndale races here for the entire week of the Winter Nationals in Florida.
And so you're keeping your stuff in Nashville. And so you're going to commute back and forth possibly from Houston. 'Cause I know you guys are moving to Houston. I know your dad took a big job down there with that soccer team there, right?
Yep.
So you're going to be going there, but you're probably not going to race too much in Houston. Maybe I think you said a pro truck deal, possibly here or there, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe more just testing on this side this year than
okay, well
anything.
that'll be fun. So moving into the legends, you obviously you said you only have one car, you just got it. I know it's been awful cold there in Tennessee. You probably haven't had much track time. I saw you put out some content the other day with practicing in the Legends car on the simulator.
Yeah.
Tell us how useful that simulator is to you as a driver that obviously a little bit away from the seat during this winter, kind of, and keeping the rust knocked off of it. How useful is iRacing simulator to you?
It's very useful. It just keeps your skills sharp and just to not like get bad, really. Like
To
it
not
just
get bad.
yeah, just keep your talent sharp and really to like for me it helps with my reaction time because a lot of stuff happens on iRacing. So
Okay.
that like helps for real life too.
So you just upgraded. I think Santa
Yeah.
Claus was good to you this Christmas,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you went from a G29, is that what I
Yep.
heard?
Logitech G29.
Logitech G29 with the Logitech pedals,
Yep.
and now you've moved to a
Moza R12 with the RSV2 steering wheel, CRP pedals with the sequential shifter.
nice. That's almost what I have. I got the R9. So when the little birdie called to ask me what he should get, I thought, well, he should probably get something better than what I got, right? If I'm going to give a man an opportunity to get an upgrade, we might as well give him an upgrade, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
Dad was like, if you have a race against Duke, you better be beating him now.
that's right. That's right.
Yep.
But no. So, what's the biggest difference? Would you say in let's start with the wheel itself. Um, Other than obviously the wheels coming off, right? Of these, what do you think is the biggest difference, and what's helped you the most going forward and getting better in the sim with that new equipment?
Just so the steering wheel size too. This one's a lot bigger than from the Logitech wheels, and some of the other like Moza wheels I've seen. This one's just it's more relatable to an actual car that I feel like it's got all the stuff I need on it, brake biased and all that stuff.
Yeah, and all those buttons make a big difference.
Oh yeah,
I was talking to your dad when I was telling him what to get, and he was trying to figure out how we could get buttons onto a different wheel, and I was like, you're gonna have all the buttons you need with this
yeah.
one. So, what about the pedals? How much of a difference have those made?
They're tremendous too. It's just they're big, so my feet actually fit on them. They're not tiny. They work well. Uh, no complaints with them at all. The assembly was a little, but otherwise they're
Yeah,
great.
that does get painful assembling
Yeah,
those, but I'm with you. I like the way they're manufactured, the material they're made out of. It's
yeah,
thick aluminum. It's very sturdy stuff. That was my biggest fear getting into some of the equipment is when you look at it, you can't really tell how sturdy it is, right?
yeah, yep,
I was always afraid, oh, this is going to be plastic until I got my first like real set of pedals, and they were the Fanatec's, and I was like, oh wow, these are
yeah,
awesome. Like these you could put these in a car almost.
yeah,
And then there's some pedal brands I've had before that are actually the Tilton pedals,
yeah,
that use the Tilton pedals that right out of the car. So all those brands, man, they put out such good stuff. But the biggest thing is staying sharp, right, over the winter. That's
oh
that's
yeah,
what you're using it for. You're practicing at Nashville, right? Are you practicing at
yep,
Charlotte? I'm sure, and all the quarter mile stuff.
oh yeah,
I'm really impressed. You told me earlier when we thought we were on, but we
yeah,
weren't. You told me earlier, oh, I got an A class, and for you to say, yeah, I got an A class, but I really don't really care about the A class. I'm running what I want to run and what's going to
yeah,
keep me sharp in my craft.
yeah,
I really respect that because that's hard to do.
yeah,
That's hard to not want to run the cup stuff and the Xfinity stuff and the truck stuff that everybody wants to run.
yeah,
But here you are honing in on your craft, and that's pretty cool. There's not a lot of people that have that kind of dedication, and that's awesome to see. What's your goals coming up for 2025? And I know with this move and having to commute back and forth is going to kind of be a little bit tough, but overall, I think it'd be a really good experience for you.
yeah. It'll yeah really experience. seat time, trap time, just getting used to the legend cars really this year, and then we'll try and step it up a little bit more each year, and just get better from here.
So, what's your biggest win you've had so far?
My biggest win, either one of the shootout races or either the Bando Nationals at Lake Havasu Speedway.
Okay, I remember when you won that Daytona race, man. Sean put that on
Oh
Facebook,
yeah,
and I was
that
like,
one. I forgot about that one.
"How you forget about winning Daytona, bro? Come
It's been a
on!"
while. It's been a while. It's been a while.
I thought that was so cool, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like you'd kind of been digging, 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 and then all of a sudden it just popped off, and you had that huge win, and I was like, man, that is awesome. What So you're coming down to Florida, but not to race at Daytona, coming to race at Auburndale, right?
Auburndale. Yep.
Tell us about that race.
Uh, those races will be a whole week of racing. So it'll be the INEX Winter Nationals. Is what they call it.
Okay,
For a whole week of racing. So each day of the 5 day week, we will race at least once on the week,
once a day.
once a day
That's
for for a whole week, and then we pack up and go home.
how many laps are the races?
I think for my division there'll be 20, but for the uh bigger divisions there'll be 25.
Okay, that's pretty good. So tell being obviously the of your you're a little bit on the younger side. How would you say that you and your friends run? Do you got a lot of friends that run on the simulator? Obviously, you have a lot of racing friends, I'm sure, that run on the simulator. How do you guys run hosteds together and simulate some stuff, or
Oh, all the time.
all the
We like
time?
that's I really don't do much official racing, which is why I'm so surprised that I'm in A class because most of the time when I'm on, it's just official races and we're messing around.
Right.
Yep.
How serious do those races get? Because you can't
Uh
you can't get hurt on the simulator. So I bet you
no,
you
they
do
get
some
pretty
quality
serious
moves.
sometimes. Yeah.
Well, that's fun, dude. How many friends you got racing online?
Uh Consistently about 5 or 6, but sometimes we can get up to like 12 or 15.
Those are
And
fun
these are kids
servers.
from like all over the country. I got a couple friends from Ohio, got a couple in California, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Tennessee, obviously, all over.
It's really cool because racing is such a family, and you meet people from all over. But then being able to keep up with them on a daily basis and talk to them and run with them, man, that really is going to foster in some relationships as you continue in your career and get to know
Oh yeah.
people more. I think that's really a neat thing today that a day's racer has that a yesterday's racer didn't necessarily have, right?
Oh yeah.
The ability to drive with each other. And now all of a sudden, if you're on the simulator 5 6 times a month with the same guy, suddenly you get to the track with him. He's probably not going to do anything that's really going to surprise you because you've probably been racing with him for quite some time, right? So,
Yeah,
so
we
it's not
take
going to
sim
pull in.
racing like just as seriously as
Well,
like
and that's a
yeah,
great. That's what you should
yeah,
do, right? Because you got to get used to each other, and then you use that to springboard into the real thing,
yeah.
and it's not as steep of a learning curve, if you will, right? So tell me how would you rate how iRacing gets the sights, right? All the rendered stuff outside, outside the window, the scoreboards, the grandstands, all the fences and stuff compared to what you're used to racing in Nashville and in Charlotte. How close have they got those? I mean, the sight lines are pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely they are. But thing with iRacing that sometimes they can't always keep every track up to date. So like there's some updates that Charlotte's had, that's Nashville's had too, that just aren't completely up to date, which is fine because they only got like a couple hundred tracks that they have to
Right.
keep up to date. So and
And
cars.
put out new stuff too, right?
Yep,
And
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 put out new stuff. Yeah, we're getting new legend cars in iRacing finally.
oh, we are.
Yeah, I
I
think
did
we
not
are.
know that. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
so we have the old 1250 motors, and I think we're getting FC motors.
Oh, nice. I know
So,
the ARCA car is getting updated, and I
yep,
hope they update it before the game because that would be pretty cool.
yeah,
To get a true ARCA car when the NASCAR 25 comes out.
yeah,
So you guys, how late you stay up racing? Your mom and dad are out of town right now, right?
yeah. They are, but I've been at school, but I'm done with school for the week now, so it'd probably be 3 or 4 o'clock this morning.
Heck yeah, I would too if I were you. I
Yeah,
don't blame you at all. What's your favorite track on iRacing?
it's probably got to be Nashville because that's like, that's turned into home for me now. I told mom and dad, I'm like, even though we're moving to Houston, I really don't want to stop racing at Nashville. It's
I,
just,
I,
it's a
I
cool place. Like,
it
it's
is.
historic. It's 120 years old, 121 years old this year.
Yep.
It's been around for forever. Like, literally, it's cool. NASCAR greats have been there. I've heard stories of like the old music guys used to go out there and race. Like,
Yeah,
it,
they
yeah,
would get done with Grand Ole Opry and come out
yep,
and run. Marty Robbins would.
yep,
That's the beautiful stories of that place. I
yep.
grew up down there in Nashville too. That place has got a special place in my heart. That's one of my favorite tracks on iRacing, and it's funny. One of the highlights I've seen of you on Facebook that your dad put up was one of that nasty crossover you hit into one.
Oh, that was
Ah,
awesome.
that was beautiful, dude. I got on the sim that night, and I was in a jumpy truck race, and I was going into turn
Jumpy
one.
trucks.
I was going to turn one, and I hit a crossover, and I was like, I clipped it, and I sent it to your dad. I was like, I did my best Colton Johnson, man. Look at this. So that was a sick move, man.
Yeah.
So those moves that you make, you replicate those on the sim all the time, right? And probably get a little bit more dramatic with them, I would imagine, because like I said, it's just an escape button away. You don't have to fix
Oh
the
yeah.
fenders. You don't have to
Nope.
fix the wheels or the spindles or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get hurt either.
Nope.
So you can really be a little bit gusto, right? You can go for the gusto in the sim,
Oh, it definitely
but
gets like that.
but but it does give you a jumping off point, right?
Yep.
Okay, well that as far as that car can go. So that way, at least when you back into the real thing, you kind of got an idea of about how far you can go. I think it's awesome that people of your generation have this tool that you're growing up with. I can only imagine how much better race car drivers would have been in the past had they had this tool.
Oh, absolutely.
Could you imagine Dale Earnhardt if he grew up on a simulator? Oh
I'd love
man,
I'd love to see Dale and her on a simulator,
man,
honestly.
it would be rowdy. But
Yeah.
yeah, all those drivers back in the day, I would love to have see them grow up in a today's era where they were able to hone their craft at a your age,
Yeah.
where you're racing all night, every night, not all night, but just about every single night, man. Like it's just second nature, and I think that's really really cool that you guys get to grow up and do that. And I'm looking forward to what that's going to produce in the future as far as racing. Like in 10 years, we're going to see Colt Johnson where in the Xfinity Series probably or Cup Series maybe
I hope that's the goal. That's the main goal.
that's the goal.
Yep.
Where do you so in a perfect world, let's say
Mhm.
Colton Johnson progresses. What do you think would be your best steps to go into a Cup Series ride?
Uh
What do you see the best way forward?
so my thinking is we'll be in legend cars for 3 or 4 years here. And then I want to get into late models, either like a pro late model or a late model stock
Hmm.
to learn it. And then maybe a super here and there. And then uh, hopefully either the trucks or Xfinity, because that's what some of the people that I know, the Quapples, they got good rides with Junior Motorsports.
Yep.
They've been doing good over there. They've hopped up into NASCAR, so I kind of want to follow their path. But they started on dirt and went there, but I'm starting on pavement. So just late models to whatever, honestly,
Have
NASCAR.
Have you done any dirt stuff at all?
I done outlaw carts with the actually with the Quapples for a couple of years, about a year and a half, 2 years
Where it was out there at Millbridge?
out there at Millbridge. Yep, Millbridge.
Nice.
Done a race or two at Mountain Creek, and then we went up to West Virginia a couple times, and that was it.
Okay. How'd you do in the dirt?
Not good.
Not good.
Not no. Well, the cart that we had, it was old. It wasn't really up to date. It was old, but it was, and that was when I was running bandos, dirt cars, and quarter midgets at the same time. So I was struggling with 3 cars. I would race Tuesday with quarter midgets, Wednesday with the outlaw carts with the Wednesday nights, and then I go race the bando on Saturdays.
Phew.
Yeah, that was a
That's a
lot.
full schedule, man.
Yeah.
So, I know your dad just took a pretty nice promotion job out in Houston. So you're going to be going out there, and you're commuting back and forth. How are you excited about that?
Yeah, I kind of am because even though I'm not going to be around mom and dad anymore, as much as I want to be, but we're still gonna be probably more racing than what we've ever done. For well, not I wouldn't say ever done, but more racing in just one specific car than we've ever done.
So, you're gonna be Nashville, and then you said the summer shootout series. You're gonna be in Charlotte, right?
Yes.
How much time over the next year are you going to be able to get into the sim? It sounds like you're going to be on the road quite a bit.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not too sure, but during that time we'll be more in a real car than we are now. So hopefully, once season dies down and we're not racing as much as we were during the summer, then I'll get the sim back fired up and we'll keep them skills sharp.
Man, I love it, dude. I'm just I know I got the same stuff you got, but I'm
Yeah,
jealous I didn't have it when I was your age because I think that would be so cool.
yeah.
That would just be awesome to grow up with.
It's
What
like a it's like
Go
a
ahead.
thing that I look forward to every day. Like I'm at school, I'm like, who's getting on tonight?
Let me tell
We
you
got it.
what.
We got an iRace.
Let me tell you what. When you age about 30 more years, it's going to be the exact same feeling, bro.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm at work and I'm like, man, well, what are we going to race tonight? You know, I'll
yeah,
look up the
yeah,
schedule and be like, hey, man, I can make
yeah,
this race. Yes.
yeah, yep,
So I feel you. I feel you on that.
yep,
It's a fun hobby. I've been able to forge a lot of friendships through sim racing,
yep.
and meet a lot of cool people. And now I get to race with you. You joined some of my hosted races that I have on the weekend, and they're quite a bit of fun.
Yeah,
Just kind of some slobber knockers.
yeah,
Um, but it's awesome, man. I really I can't stress enough how awesome it is that you guys get to use these. I don't even want to call them toys, right? They're tools. These are
yeah,
tools. You're using this as a tool, as not just a game, but a way to stay seasoned, right?
yeah.
Mentally sharp, ready to go, and you got it in your living room. And I
Right.
think that is one of the coolest things ever. What's your favorite thing about the new equipment that you got?
Probably the base, the actual base, like with the force feedback from the direct drives, like from the belt drives to the direct drives. It's a heck of a lot difference. Like it'll actually try and like fight the wheel back out of my hands now.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yep.
You might rip that thumb off.
Yeah.
I've almost had a couple run-ins with that little notch
Yep.
down there
Yep. Right here.
where my thumb gets caught. But we got some comments. Miss Taylor Kitchen said she gave us a wave. She said hello, and Robert Chappell, he's saying yeah, awesome training for sure with the simulator. And then Paul Lawson's talking about good job. Did you won the three? You won a 3D race, did you not? Have you not?
I don't think I almost won that one, but I got wrecked off of four.
Oh, okay. Well, you're still doing a great job, man.
Yeah.
I really,
Yep.
I love running with you, man. It's such a good time.
Yep.
So when do you start next? When you getting fired up this year?
So February 9th will be the first race of the
February
season.
9th down here
Yep.
in Auburndale. And then where are you going from there?
We'll have a couple weeks off, but then I think we have a Nashville race in April sometime.
Okay.
And then I think we have either two or three Nashville races, and then shootout will start. And then we'll have a Nashville race in between there, like week 5, and then Nashville, and then back to week 6. And then we just got a couple more Nashville races from there. We're not trying to go much out of do it the same as last year, just Nashville and Charlotte, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, as long you're familiar with those places, and you can get back and forth to them pretty easy.
Yep. Possibly Atlanta too.
There you go.
Yep.
That's I forgot they have that shootout there too.
The Thursday Thunder, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
What are you most looking forward to?
Probably the summer in Charlotte. It's pretty fun going there for 8 weeks and being able to race all those races.
You're going to be stationed. Are you going to be over there pretty much the whole time?
Yes, I think we will be. I think it'll be me and my mom at least over in Charlotte for the entire summer.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yep.
I might try to get over there at some point and catch a
Yeah.
race. Um, so tell us who you got to think. What you got some sponsors. I know mom and dad are right on the top of the
Oh yeah.
list.
Yep. Mom and
But
dad.
let tell us about your sponsors. Tell us how we can find you on social media, how we can keep up with your career, and everything like that.
Absolutely. I got to thank all my sponsors: K1 Race Gear, Philback, Family Dealerships with all their amazing cars and sales. Uh, G Tech Degreaser, Factory Canopies. Did I? Yeah, Racing Electronics, MPI, all those guys, dude. They're just it wouldn't be possible without them, really.
You're absolutely right. The things that grease the wheels often
Yep.
go unnoticed, and I tell you what, it's huge. Even in my sim racing career, I've been able to get fortunate enough to meet a couple of sponsors that's helped me along the way. So I totally understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah.
I almost called you Sean. But Colton, man, I appreciate you stopping by today.
Absolutely.
I wish we could have got your camera to work, or we could have showed your setup, but we kind of had some technical difficulties when we tried to move it. It all of a sudden locked up on us, and then we had to
Yeah.
scramble. So,
Yep.
but so you got a triple monitor rig at home,
Yep.
and I'm excited to be racing against you on in iRacing and
Yep.
going forward. I'm going to be continue racing those Friday and Saturday night races. Hope you come in and join us. We got a
Oh,
couple leagues
absolutely.
starting up, and man, we'd be honored for you to come race with us here in a few times, because I know we ain't got long until you just start kicking all of our tails. So we need to get you in here now where we can still beat you until you just start running off with everything. So, but I greatly appreciate your time for coming by, talking to me, and kind of giving me an idea of what it's like as a young racer and growing up with a sim, and how you stay sharp and use it. I think that's phenomenal, man. Thank you very much for your time, and
Yes.
good luck this year. Bring home some trophies.
Oh, where I
Bring
hope
home
I
all the
can. Yeah.
trophies.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Go out there and kick their tails, and then tell them about how you kick their tails afterwards. But well, we're going to jump on out of here. I appreciate everybody's time, and you guys have a good night. Colton, tell us again how we find you on social media.
Just Colt Johnson Racing on Facebook. I think Instagram too. My TikTok is Colt. I think it's Colt Johnson now. I think I changed it to Colt Johnson. If not, it'll be the Bolt at Colt.
Well, I tell you what, you send me a list, and I'll link it in the comments after this
Okay. Yep.
when it goes in, and we'll make sure that we can find you everywhere. All right,
Yep. Okay. Will do.
Colton, thank you very much. We're going to jump on out of here. You guys keep digging. This has been Big Duke's Virtual Race Hub.